Given the current status of the conflict between Iran and Israel at this moment, tensions are high across the world, and of course, that means that there's a lot of news on social media. Not all of it is accurate or true. Case in point is the news that came out last night and is now reaching a lot of people at this moment. In Iran, there was an earthquake, a 5.1, not too far away from Tehran. And there are many who are speculating that this was a nuclear weapons test by Iran underground. As you can see, this is from the Times of India. They're one of many news agencies reporting on this. And they, if you go by the headline, are inferring that this could be confirmation of an Iranian nuclear test of a weapon underground. But that is unconfirmed. But this does scare a lot of people, and it would, in scaring the people, that then scares governments around the world and causes actions based on panic. But that isn't really a reliable way of causing political action during a time of war. Mind you, the Times of India is not alone in their speculation or their fear-mongering. We see this with MSN News. We see this with The Organizer. We see this with Times Now. Now, many of these organizations don't have the credibility of the Times of India, which is considered a credible news agency, one of the most credible in India. And a lot of the initial information came from the Tasnim news agency, which is part of the IRGC, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, which is one of the biggest proponents of terrorism in the world, created by and run out of Iran. So those initial fears are less than credible. What we've seen since that time, which is getting maybe equal, maybe less attention, is what we're seeing in follow-up. Now, we are seeing from organizations like NDTV, which is less credible, but a representation that the earthquake of a 5.1 magnitude, while there has been the speculation of it being a underground nuclear weapons test, it is less than credible. You see, if you actually look through the story, even in the less credible news agencies, you will come to this section, which was buried in this article, that Iran is one of the most earthquake-prone nations in the world. And they receive over 2,100 earthquakes every year. And about 15 or so of those earthquakes are a magnitude of 5 or higher. So this isn't unusual to see that an earthquake hit. In addition, they cite that at this time, some 20 hours after the initial earthquake, we can see that the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty, the CTBTO, as well as the U.S. Geological Survey, have determined this was with high probability not an underground nuclear test. And while I do not assume to be knowledgeable in geology, this is the report from the USGS that you can go and see for yourself. So to sum that all up, what we do know is that an earthquake, a shallow earthquake, hit in Iran. This is not uncommon. There is no credible reason to believe that it was an underground nuclear weapons test at this time. All evidence seems to indicate that it was a natural event. This is not justification for the U.S. to enter into the conflict between Iran and Israel. This is not justification of the United States to use tactical nuclear weapons or any form of nuclear weapons. Anyone who has said other than this is not credible. And you will see and have seen on social media that there are some who are looking for eyeballs and fear-mongering for their own political agenda that are saying that this was a nuclear test. There is nothing credible about that at this time. That speculation is less than credible speculation at this time based on all available information. Was this the IRGC, the terrorist wing of the Iranian government, just trying to fearmonger, to push back against Israel, to try and stop the United States from entering the conflict and or using tactical nuclear weapons? Maybe. Is that an effective way to do it? Not likely. Is this China helping Iran to create nuclear weapons? Unlikely. Most of the world is paying attention. We would have noticed. Most would presume we would have noticed if China was helping in that regard. No, this seems like this was a natural event. But I'm happy to hear, what do you think?
There's a dragon on the wire, breathing digital flames. No soundbites allowed is the name of his game. With a coffee in one hand and his puppy on his lap, cigarettes curling, smoking his political trap. Michael Vass roars through the screen, he flies, painting red and blue skies with his fiery cry. He's the world's watchdog, calling out the bluff. Right-wing swagger, but his heart's pretty tough. He's a Republican dragon with his truthful slight, fights the battles unseen in the shadows of the night. From policy to passion, he breaks it all down, giving a voice to the voiceless, wearing his crown. Caffeine-fueled mornings, the smoke curls dance, Fluffy at his feet, giving life one more chance. Through algorithms and bias, he cuts straight and clear. Michael's roar echoes in the hemisphere. Michael Vass roars through the screen, he flies, painting red and blue skies with his fiery cry. He's the world's watchdog, calling out the bluff. Right-wing swagger, but his heart's pretty tough. No soundbites allowed is his ultimate creed. A dragon's perspective where facts are the seed. Standing tall on his battlefield of thoughts, guarding the truth that others forgot. Michael Vass roars through the screen, he flies, painting red and blue skies with his fiery cry. He's the world's watchdog, calling out the bluff. Right-wing swagger, but his heart's pretty tough.